and we shall look at the same area of bookkeeping, and we shall look at changes on capital. Changes on capital. Changes on capital. The capital contributed by the owners of the business does not remain static. Because what usually happens, the owners of the business may bring in more cash into the business. That is what we refer to as investment. They also, because the business is taking its operations, maybe throughout a certain period of time, it might have earned some profit or incurred some losses, or in some other extent, the owner of the business may have withdrawn some items or cash from the business. All those items usually affects the capital. So we shall be looking at changes that makes the final capital of a business to be different with the initial capital of the business. So we shall say because of that, we shall say that we shall come up with an equation which says that the final capital of the business is given as, when talk of the final capital of the business, we are talking of capital as at the end of a certain trading period. So that's when we'll be talking of the final capital is equal to the initial capital. When you talk of initial capital, this is capital at the start of a certain period, plus additional investments, plus or minus. That one I shall use plus or minus, and I will explain plus or minus profit or loss. So I had hinted earlier on, and I had said that after a certain period of time, a business may either earn some profit or incur some loss. So when the business earns some profit, after a period of time, that profit increases the capital or adds to the owner's equity in a business. Then when the business incurs a loss, this loss reduces the net worth of the owners in the business. So when I say plus, it means plus profits class. You understand that? When you say minus, it is minus loss. Yes. So when they cannot occur at the same time. So that's why I said profit or loss. So when you have a profit, you shall be adding. When you have a loss, you shall be subtracting. Okay. Then minus again, drawings. When you talk of drawings are items that the owners of the business have taken from the business for their own consumption or their own use. Like for example, if the owner of the business has a shop, and in this shop he sells some foodstuff like maize flour, and he takes maybe a packet or two of maize flour from the business, and he or she does not pay, that one we refer to it as a drawing. If the owner of the business takes some cash, maybe from the cash till or from the bank, that one is also refer to it as a drawing. Yes, so that is it. So we say that final capital is equals to initial capital plus additional investment plus or minus profit or loss minus drawings. That's when you talk of the changes in capital. And to to earn more on that, we shall do an example, and you see how this one is done in a computational example. Okay, we shall use that example on Moodle, but we shall have some additional examples. We say that we shall use the example 2 that we had there, Lapa. We say that D Moodle has the foreign assets and liability as at 30th April 2002. We had been given the creditors. We've been given the creditors. They are all in shillings. The creditors are worth 15,800. We have equipments. Equipments are worth 46,000. From equipments we have motor vehicles. For motor vehicles we have 25,160. And then we have stock. Stock is 24,600. Then we have debtors. We have 23,080. 23,080 shillings. Then we have cash at bank. Cash at bank. We had been given it as a, so let me light it well so that we have a systematic order. Cash at bank. The cash at bank was 29,000 and 160. And then we have cash in hand. Cash in hand. We had 160. Then we've been given additional information so that we can be able now to incorporate what we've looked at, changes on capital. During the first week of May 2002, Moodle had the following transaction. 1. Bought an extra equipment. On credit for shillings 55,020. So equipment, so we have additional equipments was worth 5,520. And no, remember that this one was bought on creditor. So we have created two things. We have created an asset called equipment, and we have created a debt for the same amount. Yes. During the same year, we are told that the owners of the business added shillings 20,000 more to the business. Added shillings 20,000 more to the business. That is the owner of the business. Then we are, so this is what we shall call additional investment. That's additional investment. Yes. The other thing is that the owner of the business took shillings 2,000 for his own use. So we are told that he took shillings 2,000 for his own use. This one is what we have referred to as what? Class? Drawings. Drawings. That is, he took shillings 2,000 as drawing. Yes. Then we are told that during the year, the business during the year, the business made a profit of shillings 14,000. So the profit for the business. Okay, this was 20,000. The profit for the business is shillings 14,000. Is shillings 14,000. So then required, determine the capital of the business as at 1st May 2002. That is at the beginning of the period. And you remember in the example above, when we are looking at the second example on the book keeping equation, we computed that. So that one we've already have. Then the second question is asking us to get the capital as at 31st May 2002. 31st May 2002. So you remember, so what we shall, we can still do it again so that we can remind ourselves what we have in that particular case. So this information, the information that we have here is for the period before the additional. That is now for the April, at the end of April, April month. This other information relates to May, the month of May. So this one, when we talk of the first information that was relating to the month of April, it shall give us the capital as at the beginning of May or as the end of April, because the capital as the end of April will be the same as capital as at the beginning of May. Yeah. So and from our previous records, we had these ones as, let me lab this. From our previous computations, whereby we had said that total from our, let's redo it again, so that we remember everything. So, but this one we shall be fast. We can start with total assets. Our total assets here, we say that here creditors represents liability, equipment represents assets, motor vehicle asset, stock asset, debtors asset, cash at bank, that is asset, cash in hand, that is asset. So we shall add all of these so that we get the total asset. So we shall say it is equipment, which is 46,000 plus motor vehicle, which is 25,160 plus stock, which is 24,600 plus debtors, which are 23,080 plus cash at bank, which is 29,160 plus cash in hand, which is 160. From our previous computation, we had done that and we had found it as 148,160. Yeah? So we shall have them as 148,160 from the previous question. We had done that. And then we had also had computed our total liabilities. Our total liabilities, and we had found them to be, we had only one liability, that is creditors, to be 15,800, like that. So when we get our capital, and this is now what we shall call the initial capital. The initial capital will be what? Initial capital will be what? In this case, we shall say it is the total asset, which is 148,160. You subtract the total liabilities, which is 15,800, and we get what? From our previous computations, we had found it as a 132,000 360. So already for our computation, we've already found our initial capital as 132,360. So we've already done that. So to get our final capital, we say that I will use initials because of the space. We say that final capital is given by initial capital plus what? Additional investments plus or minus profit or loss. Then you subtract the drawings. That's what we had said. Yes, initial capital, IC stands for initial capital, AI stands for additional investments, P/L stands for profit or loss, D stands for drawings. So in our additional information, we had been told that in the month of May, the following things happened. So it means that there was additional equipment, and we have been told that this additional equipment was bought on credit. So in this case, we shall have an asset, and at the same time we shall have a liability. So for us to get the capital, this one, we know that assets, for these assets, they will be, this one was bought on creditor. So what will happen on this side? We shall take we shall increase the total asset that we had, and this liability, it shall decrease what? The liabilities, the total liabilities that we had as at the beginning. So these ones we shall work it out on the total asset that we had, and this one we shall have it on the total liabilities that we had. But if you look at this, if you add it on the total assets, it will increase the assets. If we add the liabilities on this side, on the liabilities that we had, it will also increase the liability. So it means that we shall have it here. So total assets as at May. Total assets as at May, we shall have them as what? 148,160. This is the total asset in the month of April. We add what we had for equipments, which is 55,520 or 5,520. So if we add on this, we shall have our total assets equivalent to 0, 8, 6, this is 3 plus 1. So our assets will increase to 153,680. Then our total liabilities will also change. So we can have total liabilities. Total liabilities. We shall change by the same amount because we have created a creditor. So we shall have 15,800 plus 5520. So if you add this, we shall have 0, 2. This one will have it as 3. Kali 1. These ones we shall have 11, no, 21, sorry. So our total liabilities will be 21,320 and our total assets will be 153,680. So having now gotten that, let me lab this section so that we get now our capital before the other additionals. So our capital based on that additional equipment and liability, we shall be given from capital is equals to assets minus liabilities. Our assets are 153,680. You subtract 21,320. So subtracting these, we get 0, 6. We have 3. We have 2. 5 minus 2. We have 132,360. Why hasn't it changed? Because the amount that we increased assets with and the amount that we increased liabilities with was the same. So meaning that did not have any effect on the capital. Are you together? I wanted you to see that so that in another example, when you're given such change of the same amount that is affecting both assets and liability, and you're supposed to get the initial capital, you can just ignore the transaction. So we have it as 132,360. So that is still our initial capital. So because we had now done this, we have seen that in our other transaction there was additional investments of 20,000. So we can have now our final capital to be equivalent to 132,360. That is our initial capital plus additional investment of how much? 20,000. Then we had also been told that during the same year there was some drawings of how much? 2,000. And the business made a profit of 14,000. So you add the 14,000. This is what I was telling you. When you have a profit, the business cannot make a loss at the same time. So we shall take the profit alone. So because of the computations, let's now rearrange my work in a columnar way so that we can add it very fast. And we have 132,360. We add 20,000. Then we add 2,000. Then we add 14,000. So we get 0, 6, 3, 8. This is 6. Yes. 160. No, sorry for this. 2,000 is supposed to be subtracted. The 2,000 is supposed to be subtracted. So we can first of all, sorry for that. We can first of all add the 14, then we later subtract the 2,000. So we have 14,000. Sorry for that. So we have 0, 6, 3, 6. This is 6, like that. Then we subtract from this the 2,000 for drawings. So we have 2,000. We subtract from that, and we shall have 0, 6, 3, 4, 6. 164,360. In an exam setting or in a classroom setup, I know you have your calculators. I didn't call my calculator, that's why I'm doing the long method. In a classroom setup or in an examination setup, you'll need to key in your figures and get the various lighter. Yes, that is the end of that topic on the bookkeeping equation. So from the notes that I've given you, there are several examples that you are supposed to work on the changes on capital and the general bookkeeping equation. Thank you, class, and enjoy doing further examples in this particular topic.